Previously on The Good Basicreasoningologist.
Gosh, I guess all that stuff about UFOs was true. Argument by analogy. An argument by analogy compares two things to get to a conclusion. You know how you think about one thing? Well, a second thing is like the one thing, so you should think about the second thing in the same way. The easiest way to get this is by looking at an example. Premise 1. The civil rights movement of the early 1960s was morally right. Premise 2. The Black Lives Matter movement is like the civil rights movement of the 1960s. Conclusion. Therefore, the Black Lives Matter movement is also morally right. Two ways an argument by analogy can go wrong. 1. If the first premise is false or unacceptable. Few now would go after P1. Most people accept that the civil rights movement of the 1960s was a good thing. 2. If the two things being compared fail to have one important thing in common that gets you to the conclusion. Irrelevant differences between the two things being compared don't matter, and so they should not be brought up. In this argument, someone might go after it by claiming that the movement of the 1960s rejected violence, while the current movement allows that it is justified to engage in violence. However, it is not enough to concoct a difference. If you're going to claim this of Black Lives Matter, you need to support it, show that it condones violence, not just claim it or make it up.
It's about you. Being able to stick together.
Because violence occurs during the movement, it doesn't follow that that's what the movement stands for. Argument by example. An argument by example gives a bunch of examples or reasons to believe a conclusion. Premise 1, my tummy hurts. Premise 2, I keep throwing up. Premise 3, I look sickly. Conclusion, therefore I have the flu. In this case, there are two things that can go wrong. One is one or more false premises. In Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Ferris was only pretending to have symptoms. 2. The premises can be true but still fail to support the conclusion. If the three symptoms mentioned here might just as well be signs of food poisoning, then they fail to justify the particular conclusion about the flu, even though they do show you are sick.
Hello, Voldor. Glad to see me.
Put your head down, put your head on me. It's just a Voldor fantasy. Oh, put your head down, put your head on me. It's just a Voldor fantasy. Work out.